Hey, what is going on YouTube? Hey, Aaron here. We are back in the Schlieffen. Have this replay saved from a stream highlight a couple weeks ago. Orochi unfortunately took the Schlieffen from all of us. And when I say that I gave away the damage record in the title, I don't really count CC damage records in this 2 week, trial period that they give us with the new legendary ship. So I'm kind of clickbaiting, but the damage record, I think either Meta or World of Warships Legends got like 270. And that's kind of why I didn't even put up my daring damage record at the time. But we have the Schlieffen here. We are in a division and we were doing count-ins. I was kind of preparing to be focused, but I just kind of said at the same time, I was just like, F it, let's just go have some fun. Let my secondaries do a lot of damage. But this game actually turned into an incredibly sweaty game. I was a little frustrated at the end, and I'll you guys will probably see why. But this was a great game. GG's to everyone involved. I think Salt and Thelonious, two players that I've seen before, and I believe I've actually played with Salt. Were not. I don't think they were counting in, but they just ended up in this game. But who cares? We're trying to have some community fun, and half the time, a lot of these count-ins end up as more competitive games because you guys, my viewers, know what you're doing, right? Which is maybe not the same thing that this Mino. Maybe he needs to watch a few videos because YOLOing into the cap early game like that, on shards especially, he's lucky he didn't get absolutely yeeted there. But I wanted to take this central island position. My two destroyers are going to get the cap there, which is exactly what they should be doing. And since we are running a full secondary build on this Mino here, he is in range, but he just got absolutely yeeted. Pay attention to this curve first because this curve first actually has a pretty good game. But we catch him broadside here on this flank, and we go ahead and take a salvo while turning out. You want to be aggressive, obviously, in your German battlecruiser, but you don't want to be stupid, right? You don't want to YOLO into a crossfire, which is what a lot of people don't understand. They just think they just YOLO in. Every German battle, like every other German battleship player I see just blares Sabaton and rushes in, and that is not the way. But if you can put yourself in a position like this, where you can get your secondaries off while angling your armor, you will notice that these ships will be absolutely amazing for you. Again, it requires an aggressive team like we've talked about in previous Schlieffen videos, but it also requires decent positioning on your part. But as you can see, the secondaries on this thing are just disgusting. We do have the epic second, or we did. They took the ship, and I feel like the Schlieffen is one of the only secondary battleships that actually does damage to its target. On top of that, with its rate of fire, you can get, we've already gotten 2 fires here, and we've only shot AP from our main gun, so 2 fires from that, from our secondary barrage. You couple that with the epic, the epic secondary reload, and you can get some hits off. But here's, talk about positioning here. Shards is one of those where it's like, well, I'm being crossfired now, so I actually decide to back up. We get a little bit lucky, and this is the armor working in our favor. The battle cruisers do not have the best armor, so you need to be aware of that. But they have decent enough armor to where you can put yourself in a position like this, slightly angled, and pretty much anything except for Yamato will not be ruining you. But we have now a permanent fire on this Montana, and we are cautious of the crossfire, but we also don't want to get trapped here. I also realize that there is a destroyer with my friendly destroyer in the cap here. A Daring is definitely a dangerous target to our Daring, Mr. Toons here. I'm not sure if this was Toons or Toons Jr., but I wanted to go around and support him. And I wish we would have, because that Daring actually comes back. We mentioned Salt earlier. He comes back and makes a fantastic play at the end. That's just, again, like we talked about yesterday with Panda, that's just an unfortunate set of circumstances. He was playing the correct way. You definitely want to contest caps and try for caps in a destroyer. But you also want to make sure you are alive as we dodge a nice salvo there, or maybe get a little bit lucky with RNG. But if you'll notice, we have a Des Moines with a plane going the long way around A there. And, oh, man, just an unfortunate, end to the game. But just pay attention to that Des Moines. We get the secondaries on the Daring here, so we go ahead and set our priority secondary target there. Not that it would really matter, but it's just a force of habit. If you have for example, if you're YOLOing in, or you're in range of your secondaries and you have a destroyer and a battleship, it is much more important to target the destroyer with your primary, and that will set a lot of the secondaries to that destroyer rather than the battleship. It is much more important to kill the destroyers, than do like 5,000 damage to a battleship. If you notice, though, we are almost at our 5th, the maxing out of the reload there for our epic secondary booster. We have 242 hits in less than or around 5 minutes there in the game, with a nice damage total so far of 89,000 damage. Chris gets a little lucky there. I had the HE loaded for the destroyers. And at this point, it's a fairly balanced game. We've done our job. We've tanked some damage. Light is also on our in our division as well, and he did a fantastic job. As you can see, the Des Moines finally working his way into A. Doing okay. He's doing some things. And here, I was a little. I was a little proud of myself, but also just like, wow, this is actually a very good position. We put our Schlieffen right on the edge of this island here, and we tell Light to go around to spot for us, and this actually turns into quite the little trolley position here. I was a little bit worried about that daring coming on the far side, but it looks like he's actually in front of us here, on the what is that, north side of the island here, I guess. But regardless of where that daring is, if we position ourselves right here, he cannot torp us either way. We go ahead and pop the hydro, and we're just doing our best. Our team has 2 caps now, and we have put the enemy in a crossfire. You will notice that destroyer on the south west side there, was spotted around A, and if the Des Moines had a radar, he may have been able to spot him here, but we just take over the 100K mark, 7 minutes into the game. But this game, let me tell you, these next few moments here turn into a beautiful series of events, a series of unfortunate events for the enemy team. But we put ourselves in just a nice spot right here. Their whole team is kind of focused up in the middle, and you can't blame them. The A got wiped fairly quickly, and the C is now kind of retreating. I think one of the ships from C abandoned, and we did have Master Smelly in the stream and in the division, and he's kind of securing. He's doing what you kind of should do. He's securing that middle position. But here is just one of the more beautiful things in life is firing from concealment with your secondaries. We go ahead and pop the booster. We are shooting our main guns at the Des Moines because we can overmatch him, and did I even put a secondary target? No, I'm just letting them do their thing. The booster is fully maxed out now, and you can just see the hits just start to stack up. 50, 60, 70, and the damage and the fires. This is where the Schlieffen just shines. That daring is obviously not on this flank. He is not able to detect us. So now I think we have a permanent fire. No, it looks like that Montana put it out. So we're just waiting for that permanent fire, trying to target the Des Moines, obviously, because that is a radar threat, which is dangerous to our destroyers. But there comes Chris. He's a good chap from stream. But Chris, I wanted to target you. I wanted you bad. We get a few clips on the island there, but we actually get a nice salvo. No citadels or anything, but just with their 420s, you can obviously overmatch that 27 of the Des Moines. And just look at this beautiful secondary barrage. That Montana is like, man, I've had enough, so I'm coming in here. But we're already up to nearly 200 secondary hits in a short amount of time in this position. Now, you will notice that we are losing. We did lose the C position and the C flank, so I do have to go and defend that. Shards is one of those tricky maps where you either need to get, the outside flanks or the inside and then defend one side. It's never a great idea to push fully around. And I do make a little bit of a mistake. You guys will see here in the, upcoming, which I kind of threw away the damage record like we talked about. But there we hit the Yamato with our main guns. We had a fire on the Montana. And here comes just a little bit of my decision-making process, though. What I was thinking is we have DePriest here, and DePriest is an excellent player. He's a good man, and I wanted to support him. That GK is coming around, so what I should have done is just kite out in this position. It does draw fire while I am still able to get fire on, all of these ships here. Unfortunately, that Montana is still alive because of Will to Rebuild, I'm guessing, which is just a... Will to Rebuild kind of ruined this game. Yeah. Anyway, but that Montana goes down. We have a Palmer here. We know there is a destroyer out there, and we do have that GK. So DePriest is probably going to die regardless. But on stream, I was like, you know what? I'm turning in here. I'm going to save DePriest. It was on stream. We were trying to have fun. I should have continued to kite out. This Kurfürst is in secondary range. Here I put myself in a broadside with a Yamato out there and the Palmer, and I don't know where the destroyer is. Now, I do save myself from a broadside from that GK, but I think he shot at the Des Moines anyway. DePriest or messaged me or something. He was like, I'm going to radar, or I think I asked him to radar as we take a nasty salvo there. So here is where, just you want to be in a German battlecruiser. Now, obviously, we wish we had more health. We take a nasty salvo from, I think, the GK or something. And the armor will defend you. It will do its job, but it's not the best armor, right? You've got kind of squishy plating all over the sides, and the secondaries are exposed as well as the torpedo tubes, so you will be losing a few of those, if you're getting spammed or whatever. Here we have the Kaba out in the open, we have the Daring to the right, and I wish the other players would have pushed in. Master Smelly and Parker there. Parker's getting featured in another video. If they would have pushed in now, I think the outcome would have been a touch different. But here we decide to push in. We have our secondaries going on the Palmer, as I missed Torps. I thought he was going to back up, right? Most players would back up when they're beached, but we get the kill here. I launched my torpedoes to the right, thinking that the Daring would push through. He does not. There is the Kerr first, but he takes us out. In that short amount of time, we had like 400 secondary hits, 300 secondary hits, a torp hit on the Palmer, and a kill. Got the high caliber, got the Wither there. We actually had a fire on on Slayer there, who did a good job, but we could have had a lot more damage. I could have kited out, got secondaries on this GK and the Palmer, without dying. So we potentially gave away the damage record. Like I said, I don't really think damage records count when only 30 players have the ship. That's why I kind of joke about it sometimes, because a lot of players are so obsessed with damage records and all this stuff. And instead of worrying about playing the objective or playing to win, they play for damage, right? Which is not the way to play. Now, sometimes the record will happen. It'll be a fantastic game, like we saw with Captain Yoink. We've got another damage record tomorrow. But here, I was telling them to push in. If they just get this kill, then we might have a chance. Parker he had like 150,000 as well. So between us, we had like 400,000 damage. He had an excellent XP total, which tells me that he's doing his job. Again, it's actually frustrating to see that an 8-year-old can comprehend the game better, than most of the player base. There goes Master Smelly, though. The enemy team I will give credit to the enemy team. They had 2 excellent players. And here is our Des Moines with the plane. Oh man. Has he shot his guns all game? This might have been the first. You can just see my face on stream, dude. Oh, man. Des Moines with the plane shooting out in the open. Oh. But we pan away from him for about 12 seconds, and I think it's right about now. There comes the incoming salvo from the Yamato. Guys, you have nothing to prove open water gunboating a Yamato. He turned broadside there, and he died. You can just see I am incredulous right now. He should have went behind the island, but as the saying goes, your team is only as good as your team is made up of 9 players, and they all have to play. So it was a competitive game, and like I mentioned, I don't want to take anything away from the enemy team. They played fantastic. Slayer had a great game, Salt and Thelonious as well. It was a fun game. I'm just a competitor. I like to win. I enjoy to win. And especially because I turned in there to give my team a chance, or what I thought I was giving my team a chance, I, like we said, potentially gave away the damage record. But this game ends in a loss. Light does everything he could as well. You can see that the Daring is actually next to the Kerr first, giving him, of course, will to rebuild. Light gets a fantastic torpedo salvo on here. I think he clips the Yamato with 1 and then finishes him off. But, just a fun all-around game. I much more prefer these competitive games than the absolute horrific losses that occur in seconds here as he gets that. So a very close game to the end, but you can see the Kerr first start to tick back up there with will to rebuild. So very balanced wargaming, very much fun that the Kerr first can get invincibility. But that is a smart play from the Daring, obviously. And yeah, but that's the game, guys. It ends here in a loss. Parker goes down. He had a fantastic XP total, though. So, GG's to everyone on both teams. Maybe Mr. Des Moines try to utilize island cover and not run a plane. I didn't even see the plane until halfway through the game. That's funny. But GG's everybody. GG's. You can see me try to defend my position here as my blood pressure's raised. But a fun time. Make sure you guys start your Schlieffen project if you haven't already. Unfortunately, it's for silver and doubloons. But yeah. Hope everyone had a great time watching this. You guys can listen to me rant and rage at the end here. So have a good day, everybody. I'm out. Peace. All right, Light.
Good try. Good try. Good try, Light. There's nothing we can do, man. Oh, Chief, dude. Get behind the island, right? Oh, great game. Great game. Chief, brother. Oh, man. Ob, you did all you could, dude. You had a heck of a game. I'm not going to be too upset at that because that was a great competitive game. But if Will to Rebel doesn't exist and Ob gets Ob gets better RNG, that game's ours, right? And the Des Moines doesn't die, dude. Why are you open water gunboating Yamato?
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at myself. Thanks for watching this far, guys. Let's laugh. Put an LOL in the chat if you watch this far and you watched my misery. So that was funny. Hope you guys enjoyed that. AA run out. Peace.